for your cast of the Why So Serious show on BlazeRadioOnline.com.
It is Friday, and it is time for the Why So Serious show. I'm Jesse Morrison, and today we have a very special guest, and that is 36-hole leader and former Masters champion, Patrick Reed. Patrick, how does it feel to have the lead after 36 holes at the U.S. Open?
Yeah, it feels great. Putter was working really good today. Short game was going really well. We're working through it. We played very well today. We're going through it.
So I had a very interesting question I wanted to ask. So why does everyone on tour hate you?
Everyone thinks I'm a cheater. Everyone, doesn't like me. But I just try to play my best golf. Try to hit greens and have my short game really save me. My short game was great out there today, and so I'm sticking with that.
So yesterday, it was a little easier. There were some complaints. Today, there's only 6 players that remain under par. How are you able to stay steady today and keep shoot an even par score?
Yeah, it was really really tough out there today. But my putter was really good. I think I'm one of the best putters on tour, and it saved me a lot today. Almost everybody was over par today, except for Bryson, the other guy who's not very liked. But I'm sticking to it, ready to get going, be in the final group on the weekend again, and I'm excited.
So So just what do you have to do? Last question to remain in this lead and win.
I just need to keep making putts. I made a lot of 15, 20 footers this week. If I can continue to do that on the weekend, I think I'll be in good shape. I think I have the best short game of anyone in the lead right now, and then I intend to keep that up.
Also, I noticed Tony Finau wearing red. I know I said it was my last question, but I got one more. Tony Finau wearing red on Thursday. Is that just an embodiment of how he's a Thursday, Friday player?
Tony's a great player. He hits the ball very far. He doesn't have very many wins. He needs to start finishing off tournaments. But he's a great player, and he hits the ball a long way.
Yes. So you're not going to comment on red on Thursday, just how he's like a weekend player?
Well, I used to. Most people know I used to wear red on Thursday, but out of respect for the great Tiger Woods, I've decided to start wearing pink on Thursday. So, or pink on Sunday. So, red as a Nike player is a great honor, and I'm sure Tony is taking that very seriously.
All right, a ton of useless sound from Patrick Reed. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, now we have our co-host for today's show, Max Bechtold, joining us. Max, are you in there in the room?
Wow, I cannot believe you guys got Patrick Reed for this show. That's amazing.
I have no idea either. I mean, it's day 2 of the U.S. Open or going into the weekend. I feel like with the lead, he wouldn't be doing radio interviews, but it's a big weekend.
That's a huge get. That's like a massive interview to get.
Yeah, I mean, it might be our biggest get. We now have a Masters champion on the show.
Yeah, a Masters champion, a 36-hole leader at the U.S. Open. That's a huge get, and I think he was very talkative and very charming, and very good. He
answered all the questions.
I thought Patrick Reed was very good looking out there, so that's a good thing.
So, Max, speaking of the U.S. Open, what do you make of the first 2 days?
Well, the first day I thought played very, very easy, a lot easier than I was hoping for. When a golf fan sees U.S. Open at Winged Foot, they have a certain expectation, and the first day really didn't live up to that expectation. Today did. Today was what we expect out of a U.S. Open at Winged Foot. It was brutal. Players were shooting 5-6 over. The best players in the world were struggling. That's what you want to see out of a U.S. Open at Winged Foot. U.S. Open is always supposed to be the hardest tournament every year, and Winged Foot is probably the most notorious U.S. Open site out of them all. And so being able to see them really struggle was very fun. That's what golf fans look forward to every year, is seeing the players struggle at the U.S. Open.
Yeah, I'm just going to go through some of the players that were cut from this week's tournament. Sergio plus 15. He shot a plus 11 today.
Yeah.
Graham McDowell plus 10, plus 16 on the tournament. Jordan Spieth.
Spieth had a rough day today.
Phil, Brant Snedeker, Ian Poulter, Kevin Na, Cameron Champ, Henrik Stenson, Ches Reavie. Unfortunately, Kevin or Chun An Kevin Yu is how you say his name. He's the ASU amateur, missed the cut, but he shot the same score as Tiger for the 2 days of the tournament. Tiger, obviously, Justin Rose, Masters champion, Danny Willett, Cooch, Keegan Bradley, some really good players missed the cut. So I mean, I think I agree with you. It's very much playing, second day like a U.S. Open. It was a little too easy on Thursday, I think.
And I knew it would. I walked out yesterday. I was sitting there watching it, and I said, look, the leaders aren't 5 under right now. That's not going to hold. The leaders aren't going to be at 20 under at the end of this week. This is probably going to be a tournament that's won at 6 under. And I still stand by that. I think the first person to 6 under wins the tournament.
This is the course that had a U.S. Open nicknamed the Massacre, where someone won on 7 over.
This course at U.S. Opens, I believe it's never been won under par at U.S. Opens, and this is the 6th U.S. Open held there. There's a PGA Championship that was won at 11 under there, but PGA Championships are obviously set up very differently.
11 under PGA Championship, isn't that pretty low? I mean, high for a PGA Championship? Don't they normally get like 20 unders?
I'd say that's right about in the middle of PGA Championships. I think the PGA Championship this year was won at like 8 or 9 under.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Morikawa missed the cut.
Yeah, that was only like his 3rd missed cut of his career, which is insane. I mean, he's clearly the most talented young player.
Clearly not the next Tiger. He's the next Spieth and the next Rory. He's just gonna have an okay, solid career. We can just write him off, totally overreact and say that
Here's my thing. I am somebody that is totally against declaring players as the new Tigers, the new Rorys. Look, there'll never be a new Tiger. Morikawa is the closest thing to Tiger to come into golf ever. I mean, he is the closest to Tiger that there's been. So while I won't call him the next Tiger, he is the next best player since Tiger. Just in style of gameplay, style and competitiveness, I think he'll win a whole lot of majors.
I got Justin Thomas.
Justin Thomas is a great player, but here's the thing. He's 7-8 years into his career, has one major.
Oh, not for next Tiger. I got him for the tournament this week.
For the tournament? Oh, he had a rough day today.
Yeah, he did, but I think he'll figure it out. I got Justin Thomas.
I got the guy that was on the show just a few minutes ago.
Patrick Reed, yeah.
Yeah, that's who I've got in the tournament. His short game is honestly incredibly impressive, like insane. It's so fun to watch. His short game is, and short game is what you need at Winged Foot. You need to be able to get up and down.
I can't decide if this is going to be a well-rated tournament or if people are just going to watch football, because
it's going to be a horribly rated tournament. This is going to be the worst rated major in years, I think. I don't even think many people realize that the U.S. Open is going on.
I'll probably have it on my other TV.
The U.S. Open is consistently probably the second biggest major of the year. I don't think anyone really knows that it's going on right now.
I do.
It's not being talked about at all.
I do, because I know I am looking at stuff as deep as, NASCAR playoffs on Saturday night. So, because I like the sport.
But I think a lot of people, a lot of non-golf fans who would maybe usually watch a U.S. Open Sunday aren't even realizing what's going on right now. And I can't blame them. It's the middle of fall. It's football season right now. There's a football game last night. There's going to be football all day Saturday. There's going to be football all day Sunday.
I'm excited for that Miami FSU game, let me tell you, Max.
Miami FSU is this week?
Not Miami FSU, Miami Louisville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was going to say.
4 positive tests, but they got on the plane and are going to.
I was like, I'm going to the pumpkin patch tomorrow, and I was like, I may need to delay that if Miami FSU is on.
Oh, you're going to the legit pumpkin patch?
Oh, I'm going to the pumpkin patch tomorrow. Pumpkin
like
patch
carving
and
pumpkins?
no, I don't carve them. We just put them out on our porch.
Okay.
But we're going to the pumpkin patch and apple farm tomorrow, so that'll be fun.
I have a fridge full of apples. I got like 6 of them in there. Gaylord.
Yeah, we're gonna get some fresh ones tomorrow.
We could do a Mount Rushmore of apple types if we really wanted to.
Granny Smith are the only good ones.
Really?
Yeah,
You
that's my
only
hot
eat
take.
Granny Smith apples?
I like green apples.
Really? So you don't eat like you've never had a Honeycrisp?
Well, I mean I'll eat them, but
Okay.
I don't like them as much.
Really? Honeycrisp is like the gold standard.
I'm all in on green apples.
Not the
green
gold
apples
standard,
are my
Golden
ones.
Delicious. Golden Delicious is down. On the, Red Delicious has such a improper name. It's not delicious.
Yeah, green apples. That's what I go for. And artificial green apple flavoring is the best artificial flavoring there is.
Do you like green apple Gatorade? Please say no.
I don't know. I probably haven't had it.
Really bad. But Max Baker Mayfield is back. Did you see him last night? Did you see that run game?
Okay, so I did. Here's my thing. I'm playing my dad in fantasy football this week in my family league. My dad inexplicably went Browns heavy this year. I don't know why, but it worked out really, really bad for me this weekend because I watched most of the game yesterday, but I go on fantasy football this morning and I see Chubb 24 points, Odell 14 points. He had Baker on his bench, and Baker didn't have an amazing game. So I don't know even what to make of that. But he has 38 points out of 2 players right now, and I'm kind of panicking because he is very clearly the worst team in the league.
Imagine if he had Kareem Hunt.
He does on his bench.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm 0-1 in this league, and I've won 2 years in a row. And so this is like major pressure point. I can't go 0-2 to start the season. That would ruin my whole reputation, especially to the worst team in the league. So the Browns have really, really hurt me this week.
Do we play each other in our league?
I don't know.
I've
got so many leagues at this point because obviously we're like mid-quarantine and stuff like that. I need stuff to distract me, so I have like 8 leagues right now. I have no idea what's going on in most of them.
Are you updating?
Oh yeah, I'm checking all my teams. It's just, I don't know who I'm playing in each league.
By the way, in the consolation first round of fantasy baseball, you were destroying me last time I checked.
Yeah,
Let's go. I finished with the 5th seed. I was in the 3 seed, and then Jeremy won. I lost, and then that moved up the guy that beat me week 1 into the 4th playoff spot, and I'm in the consolation ladder. So bummer there. But you know who you were spot on with the prediction of, and who I shouldn't have gotten on my fantasy team?
Who?
AJ Green.
Yeah.
He is washed.
AJ Green, I think he's still got a lot of ability and talent and potential to be a good player. But his time of being a great wide receiver is gone. It just is. And that's not anything against him. He had a really, really nice career of being a great wide receiver. He's going to be one of those people that we talk about in 20 years that we tell our kids about, like, oh, AJ Green is so underrated because he had such great years and stuff. And he's just, injuries just weren't on his side. His franchise wasn't helping him out any, and he's not the kind of guy that's going to be long term.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be able to tell our kids about the 2011 draft and that AJ Green and Julio Jones were, 2 of the top receivers ever that were picked at that, like in the space of 3 picks.
I compare AJ Green to my favorite NFL player of all time, Steven Jackson, because they both had really, really nice careers that are going to be very underrated with time, but they just weren't at the right franchises. They took too many hits, had too much wear and tear, and they just couldn't last very long.
I mean, I would say that Steven Jackson lasted a pretty long time.
I mean, for a running back, he lasted a decent amount of time.
He was like 33.
But here's the thing. If he had lasted 2 or 3 more years and been on a decent franchise, he'd be one of the greatest running backs of all time.
Yeah.
It's just he was playing – he was just playing for a team that went 5-11 every year, and he took so many hits because he was the only good player on a lot of those teams.
Every time
and it's gonna be
Washington, he would absolutely kill us.
He was so good, and it's the same thing with AJ Green. AJ Green was on a lot of not great teams in a bad franchise, and he had a lot of the responsibility of the offense on him. He played great for a 7 or 8 year stretch, and you know what? His career probably will never be what it could have been, but that's fine. He was still an all-time great wide receiver.
Let's just say, though, that they were a little bit better than you think for a little bit there, especially when
they had some good years. But here's the thing. The Bengals should have been a lot better than they were. I mean, I think we can all acknowledge that. I know a lot of people like to give Andy Dalton whatever. He's a good quarterback, and he was a good quarterback for a lot of years.
He was one of these guys like Mark Brunell that had a pretty good career, and then became a backup.
They had really good talent on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
They had really good wide receiver talent for a lot of years. They had a good running back with Gio Bernard. They had a good core of running backs because they always had 2 or 3 running backs that were really good. They had Dalton, and they always had a really solid defense. They should have been a lot better than they were.
The defense was a little bit undisciplined.
They were. But they had so much talent all around.
Yeah.
They should have been better than they were.
All right, well, that's too much serious football talk.
Yeah, that's the most Bengals talk we'll ever have on this show. By the way, in case you're wondering what my jersey of the day is, it's a Kyrie Irving Duke jersey.
He played 9 games for them.
Yep, that's correct. But I have a Kyrie Irving Duke jersey.
Or whoever's number 1 on Duke right now.
Yeah, it's a Kyrie Irving Duke jersey. It has Irving on the back and everything.
Okay, I got you. So it was a post college Irving jersey.
Yeah, I got it on AliExpress for like $15.
All right.
Really good quality though.
They don't sell jerseys anymore.
I know.
You got to go to a different site.
Yeah.
The ones that I got my Kawhi Leonard jersey on, I tucked that one way back in the closet right now. But Max, Mount Rushmore of just food in general. What's your first one?
Popcorn. It's my favorite food in the world. I think I don't know how long this quarantine has been. We'll just say if it's been 120. It's been probably roughly like 130, 140 days, right?
Yeah.
We'll just say that. If it's been 140 days, I've probably had popcorn 120 of those. It's my favorite food. I love popcorn. It can be a breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It can be a snack. It can be great. Any kind of event you can go to, movies, sporting events, anything, is the best food there is. And I love it. I can have it at any time of the day. It smells so good. Like, the smell of it just gets me in a good mood. I went to a movie a couple weeks ago at a theater, and the number one thing I was most looking forward to was popcorn.
Movie?
Not even the movie. It was popcorn. I mean, I'm just going to be honest about that. I love popcorn. Popcorn's my favorite food. That is my number one on my Mount Rushmore.
I put on the poll, is popcorn a good breakfast food?
I've had popcorn for breakfast more times than I'd like to admit.
All right. I have one quick question, actually. Is it just normal, regular popcorn, or do you like kettle corn? Do you like cheese corn? Is it just the normal plain popcorn?
Here's my thing. I will eat kettle corn. I will eat cheese popcorn. But nothing can top regular old plain buttered popcorn.
You know what has the best popcorn? Chasefield cactus corn, because you get
Chasefield cactus corn is delicious.
And the good thing about Chasefield cactus corn is exactly what you want, because you always accidentally get 5 pieces of kettle corn and the rest is normal good popcorn.
I could break down different kinds of popcorn all day, so we might as well not get into it. But Chasefield cactus corn is absolutely delicious. It is top tier popcorn. It is a solid A on the popcorn scale.
I could just go to Chasefield and not watch the game and just walk around and eat their food because it's the best in Phoenix.
That's what I do every time I go to Chasefield.
All right. My first is ribs. It's my favorite thing to make, probably. I'm from Virginia.
I made ribs tonight. It's great.
Yeah. We've got some good barbecue places. There's different types of ribs that are good. I like, basically all of them. Spare ribs, baby back ribs, beef ribs are good. Yeah, I love just a half rack of ribs with some mac and cheese and stuff on the side. So yeah. That's my first one.
Yeah, I love ribs. Like I said, I made ribs tonight. Key is getting them tender because a tough rib is really bad.
Yes.
You can't have them be tough. You have to have them be really tender. You have to cook them really low and slow for a long time to get them really good. But when you get a really good rib, it is delicious.
Oh,
it is one of the best foods you can have.
And Max, I don't know if you've been to the areas where I've been raised, but I gotta tell you, I went to a place that beat Bobby Flay in a throwdown.
Oh, I love it.
So good.
Yeah, the closest I've been there is Atlanta, and I got barbecue in Atlanta, and it was very good. I didn't get ribs there. I got brisket and sausage there, and it was really good. But that's the closest I've been to getting barbecue in those areas. So
got this.
There you go.
For
Arnold Palmer, love it.
All right, Max, what's your second one as I break open this U.S. Open honoring Arnold Palmer?
My second food is the king of all foods, pizza. Who doesn't like pizza? I mean, come on.
I've met some people and they're weird.
It's weird, though. I mean, here's my thing. I hate pizza right now because I don't eat pizza anymore. I can probably count on my hands, or my one hand, I can probably count the amount of times I've eaten pizza in the last 2 years. But you know what? If you put pizza in front of me and say, yeah, you won't gain any weight by eating this, I'm eating that entire pizza in probably about 5 minutes. I've already planned out my birthday meal, which is more than a month away, as being pizza. So pizza is the best food. I mean, it's so good. And again, another food that you can have for breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Oh yeah, it's cold pizza is a Mount Rushmore of breakfast food.
And here's the thing. I judge pizza purely off of how good it is cold for breakfast. If it's not good cold for breakfast, it's not good pizza. And by the way, Grimaldi's in Scottsdale, it's originally in Brooklyn, but they have one in Scottsdale, has by far the best cold pizza for breakfast. By far. It's better cold than it is hot.
So I actually have started making pizza. I don't know if I showed you, but like crust, dough, everything. It's my dad's recipe. It's a little bit deep dish.
I like that.
So
I love deep dish pizza.
I like every type of pizza. I like thin. I like deep. I like New York style. I like,
Have you ever had St. Louis style?
No, what is that?
So it's a super thin crust. It's basically like a flat crust. There's no crust really on the end. And it's got Provel cheese, which is like a really processed cheese that's like so super disgusting. And almost everybody in the world hates it unless you were born in St. Louis. And it's like the weirdest tasting thing ever.
Is it good?
Objectively, no. But if you grow up in St. Louis and are used to it, you'll love it. It's one of the, because like it comes even down to this, because my dad was born in St. Louis, grew up in St. Louis. He almost cannot eat any pizza other than St. Louis style pizza. My mom, who grew up in Wisconsin and then moved to St. Louis, when she married my dad, cannot eat St. Louis style pizza for anything. She lived in St. Louis for like 10 years. She lived in St. Louis for like 10 years. She cannot have a single bite of it.
My dad claims that his pizza isn't good cold. I've been eating it, the stuff that I've made cold, and I have been thoroughly enjoying it. So I think it's fine.
That's a good pizza then.
It's my turn. Second choice for me, Fettuccine Alfredo. I'll keep on the Italian side of things. It's just great. You can do chicken, you can do broccoli, you can do peas and carrots if you want to, but
very versatile.
I normally just like to eat it plain. I made it last night. I get it at, most every Italian restaurant I go to, unless I get pizza or lasagna, because I like lasagna too. But I like just a good old-fashioned style fettuccine Alfredo. The sauce can't be too heavy, though. That's what I like about my dad's recipe that I made last night. Is that it's very just, or it's actually my dad's college roommate's recipe. But it's very, light. The sauce is more like, it feels just more like there's cheese on it than there's like.
Yeah, and that's how because my dad makes it as well. I messaged you today. I was talking about it's like one of my mom's favorite foods. My dad makes it pretty much every Mother's Day for her and every birthday for her and stuff like that. And he just basically does like it's olive oil and cheese and He just basically puts it on the pasta and cooks it on the pasta. Basically, it's
Okay.
basically just olive oil and cheese almost.
Because I make it in a separate pot, and it's butter half and half.
Yeah, he butter also on it.
Butter half and half, Parmesan cheese, and the last thing, I forgot what the last ingredient was, but there's something else in there, I think.
It's very good. It's probably one of the most versatile foods, honestly. You can honestly put anything on fettuccine alfredo and it tastes good. You can put beef, chicken, shrimp, any kind of vegetable, really. You can put it all on fettuccine alfredo. And
Apple Jacks.
Honestly, I'd try it.
Put it on the poll. Can you
This is amazing. Okay, I need to redo my Mount Rushmore list. So we're gonna do it on the fly. So okay, we're gonna redo it on the fly. So we're gonna change one of mine. Okay, but anyway,
go.
So we're going on 3, which is my original 3, which is cauliflower. Now I want to advocate for cauliflower because this is a food that I used to absolutely hate, but cauliflower can be made into so many good things and so many healthy alternatives. Like you can have cauliflower fries, cauliflower tots, mashed cauliflower, cauliflower au gratin. It can really be a cauliflower pizza. It can be a replacement for almost anything, and it still tastes good every time.
Very Forrest Gumpy in there.
Here's what I'm gonna say. I would say I've eaten more cauliflower over the last 2 years than I have any other food.
I've been.
I don't even think that's close.
We went to the coffee shop downtown. That's a coffee shop / bar /
I had buffalo cauliflower there.
They had very good buffalo cauliflower.
They did. You can make cauliflower into almost anything. It has become probably my favorite food, honestly, cauliflower has. I have it almost every day. I love it. I think it's great. It takes a little bit to get used to, but once you do get used to it, you realize how versatile it is. It's basically a potato.
I think it's kind of sad broccoli.
No, here's what I'm going to say. It's healthy potatoes. It can be made into anything that potatoes are made into. And it's maybe doesn't taste as good, but it's a lot more healthy. And so I'll sacrifice that not tasting good for that. So cauliflower, definitely on my Mount Rushmore of foods.
I'm putting it on the poll. Is cauliflower sad broccoli or healthy potatoes?
It's healthy potatoes, I'm telling you. Here's what I'm going to say. I could go on an all cauliflower diet, I think, and get away with it. I think I could go a month not eating anything but cauliflower. I honestly believe that.
Will you actually do that for show purposes?
Maybe later. Not right now. Not right now, but I would do it. I would do a full month of eating only cauliflower. I think I could get away with it. I could at least go 2 weeks.
That could start your movie career.
Sure.
By the way, this is super off topic, but does Super Size Me make you want to go to McDonald's?
Anything that shows anything McDonald's makes me want to go to McDonald's. The founder.
It's a common thing.
Okay, have you seen the? This is so off topic. Have you seen the movie The Founder?
No, but my dad literally told me to watch it yesterday.
Okay, so I watched the movie The Founder on a flight from California to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I was sitting there in my seat. I was sitting next to my dad, and I was just like, I turned to him at one point. He wasn't watching this movie. He was just listening to music. I turned to him and I was just like, I need McDonald's so badly right now. The next day, because I'm a big McDonald's breakfast fan, but it wasn't breakfast that I needed because they show burgers so much in the movie. I'm not a McDonald's burger fan usually, but like when they were showing the McDonald's burger in the movie, I was like, I can taste this burger in my mouth right now. I need it. At 11 a.m. the next morning, I was in the McDonald's drive-thru. I needed it so badly.
It's like for some reason I crave those dehydrated pickles and onions. I don't know why.
I love McDonald's. I'm not ashamed to say it.
Yeah. I don't know why people I can't there's so much hate on it. It's like Facebook. Like there's so much hate on it, but you go on Facebook and everybody's posting on Facebook. Same with McDonald's. Like you go past the McDonald's drive-thru, packed. There's a McDonald's 5 miles away in every town from the other McDonald's. So
I love the Golden Arches. I do. I love it. That's definitely a top 5 fast food place for me.
I even like the clown.
Yeah, it's a top 5 fast food place for me. I gotta admit, it's so good. I love it. Anyway, on to your number 3.
My number 3 is let me think. I've kind of forgotten here very quickly. Oh, we're just talking about it. A good old cheeseburger. I love a good old cheeseburger. I love an In-N-Out burger. I love a gourmet hamburger. I'm more of a cheeseburger guy than a hamburger. It has to have cheese. Like one of my things, Burger King kind of makes me mad because you have to get the Whopper and then add cheese. Like they don't think that cheese is the most important part to close everything in. You got like if you don't have any other toppings, there's got to be cheese. So a good cheeseburger. That's
I'm a burger patty, cheddar cheese, and ketchup. That's what I need on it. I don't mind a pickle. I'm good with pickles on it. But mostly I'm just cheddar cheese and ketchup on a burger, and it's so good.
I like to go to Five Guys and just get everything. Like that.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's my thing is if I'm going to like a specialty burger place where they have like really crazy, insane burgers, I'll have fun and try one. But I'm just ketchup and cheese. That's all I want on a burger.
Five Guys person?
I do not like Five Guys. Yeah. I've been on record as saying I think Five Guys is very overrated.
Best fries in the country.
Oh, their fries? What?
Yeah, everybody loves their fries.
I see. Here's my thing though. I'm not a fast food fries person. I think I can count on probably like one hand the amount of fast food fries I like. I do not like very many of them.
All right, what's your next one?
Okay, so my next one. So I had some thoughts on this. Originally, it was orange chicken because I love orange chicken. Orange chicken's delicious. If I'm ever at a Chinese restaurant, it's always orange chicken. I was also thinking red velvet cake. I'm a huge red velvet cake fan. Like I said, I've already planned out my whole birthday meal. Red velvet cake is the cake that I'm having on my birthday this year and stuff. Love red velvet cake.
You want me to spoil something about red velvet cake to you?
Oh, I probably already know. I don't care.
It's just chocolate cake with red dye.
I know.
I hate to break it to you.
No, I know. But is there something about that red? But here's the thing. It's a different frosting. Red velvet cake has a very specific frosting.
True.
And that's what makes it red velvet cake. It's not the cake that makes it that. It's the frosting that makes it.
I'm more of a cupcake person than an actual cake person.
Because usually, I like cupcakes too. Usually on red velvet cake, you get a cream cheese frosting. You're not putting that on a regular chocolate cake, but you'll put it on a red velvet cake.
Yes.
And that combo is so good.
Yes.
Anyway, but my next one is my old classic. If Jeremy were on it, he'd know. He'd know that for 2 years, I had this probably twice a day, which is Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loops.
I love Fruit Loops on another level. It's inexplicable, my love for Fruit Loops. It's my favorite cereal. It's my favorite breakfast. I don't have it very often anymore because I don't really eat cereal anymore. But Fruit Loops is it for me. I love Fruit Loops. And it doesn't need milk, but with milk, it's great. Without milk, it's also great. It's great for breakfast and it's great for dessert. It's a great overall meal.
Person.
I like Fruity Pebbles, but nothing can top Fruit Loops for me.
So were you the hotel breakfast person that would get the Fruit
Loops? If I'm at a hotel, what I always do is I get a croissant, a banana, and a bowl of Fruit Loops.
Do you prefer the Fruit Loops that come out of the thing or the little Fruit Loops actual like bowl that you rip the top off of?
I like the ones that come out of the thing.
Is it more exciting than just because I've always kind of been excited like wow it's like a fake bowl like it already comes like a bowl, you don't have to get a bowl.
I like the pulling it down. I've spent many days before playing a round of golf on a great golf course having Fruit Loops, croissant, and a banana.
What about a crank?
Yeah, I like that too. I like Fruit Loops anyway, but I will say Fruit Loops at a hotel is the best way to have Fruit Loops. I've also done many times Fruit Loops and bacon. Just grabbing a few slices of bacon and putting the Fruit Loops in, so good.
You ever put the bacon in the Fruit Loops and the milk and just...
I'm sure I have.
All right, Max. I got one
Fruit
more.
Loops, so good.
I've got one more, and that one is, hold on just a second because I have it right here. Oh yeah, burritos. I love burrito. Like I like tacos, but just like, and let me tell you, in the Bay Area, in Oakland, is where I've had the best burritos.
Yeah, and I was going to jump off of this and say that another one of my runners-up would be tacos, which is close enough to burritos. So
yes, tacos is a debate between
any kind of Tex-Mex food.
Yeah, it's great. And like I've said, Guadalajara truck or restaurant, wherever it is, once you're in the Bay Area, I've got some. I don't know if I'm sure you've eaten at a lot of good places in the Bay Area, but I got some other places to show you that might be a little bit off the beaten path. But
that's what I love is off the beaten path. So
we will once everything is cleared up and I'm able to come and visit you, then I'm taking you to some not so great parts of Oakland, and we're getting some amazing food.
I love it. I had some tacos today for lunch. We went to a restaurant that is very great on social distancing. It's outside. They've got very healthy food. They've got lettuce wrapped tacos. They're delicious. They're the best tacos in Madison. We're not sponsored by Ancho and Agave, but that is the name of the place. So go check it out. But yeah, no, I just love any kind of Tex-Mex food.
And speaking of outdoor dining, something that I might be doing in Scottsdale very soon for Wisconsin football, because Big Ten is back. Are you excited, Max?
Here's the thing. I'm excited for the players because I think they really do want to play, and I think it's a great opportunity for them. I'm not excited for necessarily the people that put them in this position because I don't think this should be the players' decision. I think that the players are obviously going to want to play, and that's the issue is there's a lot of people making the decisions for the players. That being said, I'm going to root for, the Wisconsin Badgers with all my heart again, because I love those players and they want to play, and I'm rooting for them to win as many games as they can.
It's an 8-game schedule, correct?
Yep. 8-game schedule. And here's what I love about it. And this is the Big Ten fully leaning into it, is that the final week of the season is a seeded, basically matchups round.
A little bit.
So the two best teams are playing, then the third and fourth best teams are playing, then the fifth and sixth best teams are playing. The bottom two teams in the Big Ten are playing on that weekend.
Yes. It's going to be cold. It's going to be terrible. And
we finally get a last place game in college football. I've been asking for this for years, for a last place game.
Can you imagine?
And finally we get it. We get it. I'm not going to put money on it, but whatever, extracurricular activities on the last place game. I cannot wait. I've been asking for years for college football to have a last place game. And finally the Big Ten is taking the step and doing it. I can't wait. It's going to be Rutgers versus somebody, and I don't care who it is.
I want the worst team in the NFL to play the national champion every year.
I'd be down for that too. But here's the thing.
They would get wrecked at, just try it 1 year and see if Alabama can actually put up with, last year's Bengals.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
LSU,
Yeah. Here's the thing. I really, really hope. And I'm sorry to any fans of this team watching. I really hope Nebraska gets in the last place game. It would just be such a bummer for their fans. And their fans are so nice, I will say. I've been to probably 20 college football stadiums. Nebraska has by far the nicest fan base.
They're extremely nice because that team's been terrible for 10 years.
They've got
and they still show up like it's a powerhouse.
They've got the nicest fan base. They've got the most passionate fan base. I don't know why I root against them so much, but I just do.
Maybe because they're kind of like Wisconsin, but not.
Well, they are the path of Wisconsin if Wisconsin had kept Gary Anderson. That's what they are. Is they're a power team running the spread, and it doesn't work for them at all. That's what they are, and that's what Wisconsin was going to become if they would have kept Gary Anderson.
Well, I will be calling Local Patron and maybe sitting outdoors and watching some Wisconsin Badgers football at 9 in the morning with some cheese.
Yeah, it's already spread out anyway. And for most of the games, unless you go to like Ohio State or Michigan or something like that, most of the games there's not that many people there anyway. So
No. Yeah, I'm excited. But that moves us to the next topic. And did you watch Lakers and Nuggets tonight at all?
nope.
The Lakers. I'm gonna keep this quick. The Lakers are gonna win the series very easily. The Nuggets have nothing for them. They're too young. They don't have the star power. And JaVale McGee gets really hype on the side. He doesn't care if he's playing or not. He just wants to be there and he wants to be hyped. And we love to see it. We love to see this team of quote unquote egos getting along like the best team chemistry in NBA history. Like I really think that something, I don't know if it's Frank Vogel, I don't know if it's LeBron, but I didn't think this would work as well as it did. But like LeBron, Anthony Davis, Rondo, Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, Kyle Kuzma, they're getting along, which I just didn't expect that. Maybe it's just because they're winning. I don't know.
Yeah. I gotta be honest, I'm not watching any of the NBA right now. For some reason, and I think this is an issue that the NBA has right now in the bubble, and I won't make this too long, but almost every year I watch the NBA playoffs consistently. This year I don't have much interest in it. And I think it has something to do with it. I think the time of year has something to do with it. Here's my thing. I always love the NBA playoffs because it's kind of a distraction from finals week in college, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it usually goes on right at the end of a semester. So you're doing a bunch of studying, you're doing a bunch of work, and then you get done with it and you say, oh, hey, this NBA playoff game is on. Let's watch that. And it's not there right now anymore. I'm not it's the middle of a semester. I'm not looking for distraction. I'm looking to work. And so I'm really not watching any NBA playoffs this year.
I can see where you're coming from, but I'm still watching it because it's the NBA playoffs and it's LeBron and I can't. Like I know the bubble's different, but it's just like something we have to live with.
Yeah, I'll say this. I don't think it's because of the bubble. I think it's the time of year. I would say I've watched less NBA playoffs this year than I have any other year.
I will say though that I do now with the NFL in week 2, college football really ramping up. You know, high school football about to start.
U.S. Open and stuff like that. Golf is
golf feels
big
weird.
part. Yeah,
golf feels weird. But I gotta tell you that in like the baseball season about to end, like it feels like September and October now. It's finally like I'm finally starting to like I'm not gonna get into too many details, but like my mental health is starting to like be like, okay, I think I'm probably gonna be able to find a job. There's sports back. It's just different. It's weird, but it's different, and it's different. But like it's probably gonna be back for the foreseeable future, and you know we're just gonna be living with this for now. And so I'm kind of like this is like I don't know. It's just feeling like a bit of normalcy in a weird time as well. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's fall, and I feel like there's football, and I kind of see where you're coming from there.
I'll say this is I've watched less basketball this year than I have probably any time in the last 10 years. But I've probably watched more sports this year than I have any time in the last 10 years. And I think it's just because of that 2 or 3 month stretch of having no sports at all just totally made me crave it in a way that I haven't felt in a while. Because I'm a huge sports fan, but I usually don't watch much sports. I watch my favorite teams and not much else. But I've been watching so much sport. I've been watching so much baseball this year. It's insane. I've watched more baseball this year than I have in the last 5 years combined, probably. Yeah, I mean, I'm just so into it right now.
Yeah, you know, you don't appreciate it enough when you have it just constantly. You're able to go to games. Like, you know, I would watch the Orioles a couple innings every night and then just kind of be like, But this year I've watched a lot of their games, and it's been fun. And I was like, you know what, this is my favorite team. I don't know why I haven't watched them as much. It's just like, you know, I'm not like right now. kind of thought about getting into another Netflix series, but like I'm just like, there's this game on tonight and that game on tonight, and I could watch Netflix, but I could also put 3 different playoff games on 3 different TVs.
Yeah.
And like, it's just like, or computer, TV, and TV. And I'm just like, it just doesn't, I just need, like, I like it too much to like go for something else. Maybe that's making me less of a well-rounded person, but like, I think at this point we just got to enjoy what makes us happy.
And I'll say this is I've always been someone that when I've like ranked my favorite teams, like it's always been, oh, my college teams are first probably, then probably the Rams, then probably the Cavs, then probably the Cardinals after that. Like the Cardinals have shot up. Like I'm having so much fun watching the Cardinals. I know a lot about them. They're hanging on to a thread on the playoffs. Okay. But you know, I know almost all their players. I know their lineup consistently. Like I'm getting into the players. I'm getting into their personalities. Like I'm learning them. I'm learning their strengths and weaknesses. Like I'm having so much fun with them right now. And it's like this quarantine has really, really taught me my love for baseball and made me revisit that. And that's a lot of fun.
They're a half game back right now of the Giants.
Yeah.
Half game back. The Giants are 25-24. The Cardinals are 24-24. But also Cincinnati is 26-26. So that's a very fun fun race at the end, because you know the Cardinals have 12 games left, which not every team does. I think
their pitching's been falling apart recently.
Yeah, I've heard about the injury. But Max, Dancing with the Stars, who did you watch and what were your thoughts?
Okay.
Because I think the worst show on television. It might be worse than the Masked Singer.
Oh, it's terrible. It is awful. It is almost unwatchable. My family watched the people that we're interested in. The people that we are interested in are AJ McLean, who I thought was fantastic.
He doesn't have hair. I thought he had hair.
He used to. I don't know what happened there, but
he normally wears a hat, and it was weird to see him without one.
But he was fantastic.
It's weird to think that he was a heartthrob at one point.
He's the best Backstreet Boy. He is. He's the best singer and best dancer.
Your first concert?
Yeah, it was my first concert way back in like '99. It was also my last concert. Interestingly enough, I went to Backstreet Boys concert last summer, and I haven't gone to one since.
How was that?
Oh, it's great. They're fantastic. But anyway, AJ was great. I clearly don't know much about dancing because I think it's BS that he got all 6s. Thought he should have gotten better than that. I watched Johnny Weir. I thought Johnny Weir was great too. I don't know what the judges were thinking with this. Vernon Davis I thought was okay. I thought he was just solid, middle of the road. Charles Oakley was absolutely horrible.
Terrible.
He was terrible. Easily
the years of the NBA and pounding on hardwood on that guy.
Yeah. Somehow the worst of the night. And this was the night that included Carol Baskin.
Did you watch
who I also watched, was also terrible. But was not as bad as Charles Oakley somehow. Charles Oakley, a professional athlete, wasn't as good as Carol Baskin. And I watched Nelly, of course. And I thought Nelly
Carol Baskin
Carol Baskin was horrible. And then I watched Nelly, of course, and Nelly was fantastic.
He got so robbed. I was so mad.
I know.
Judged him on the shoes. They're like ballroom shoes, and I was just like, Nelly did his thing. Just get off.
Here's my thing. I don't know if a backflip is a dance move or not, but he deserved 7s off of the backflip alone.
10 is the max. Like nobody got over a 7. Like what?
I know. I thought it was kind of BS. I thought AJ and Nelly both deserved over 7s. I thought Johnny Weir did too. I thought Johnny Weir was fantastic. I thought he might have been the best one.
Whoever Machado was really good. I don't know if you watched her.
I didn't. I just named all of them that I watched. I just named all of them that I watched. So.
Will you be tuning in at all for week 2?
Yeah, I'll watch the same 6.
Yeah, I'm mostly interested in Charles Oakley and Carol Baskin part 2.
I feel that Charles Oakley was really hard to watch. He might be one of the worst I've ever seen on the show.
Like he's so stiff. It
was really bad.
But remember when Sean Spicer was?
Oh, let's not even go into that. All right. Can I have my my list that I talked to you about?
Yes. Max's entertainment list.
Okay, my entertainment list. I think you'll appreciate this. I think since with conversations we have had, my list this week is a top 5 SNL skits of all time,
Oh.
in my opinion. And so my number 5 is the original, the Californian Sketch.
Okay.
Have you ever watched the sketch?
I don't think I've watched the original one, but I've seen them.
So I have a very weird sense of humor. And if you go watch any of these sketches that I talk about today, you'll see how weird my sense of humor is. I like anti-comedy. I like stuff that in no way is funny, but that's what makes it funny.
So do you like the worst SNL skits that don't get any laughs?
I love that stuff. My favorite SNL skits on a weekly basis are the ones that have been cut for time. Because
some of those are actually really good, and they always involve Kyle Mooney, and I don't know.
Yes, okay. Kyle Mooney will come up on this list later. Kyle Mooney is my favorite person on SNL right now because he has my exact type of humor. What?
Is he even on the show anymore?
I have no idea, but he has my exact sense of humor, my exact anti-comedy sense of humor, where nothing about it is funny, and that's what makes it funny. And the Californians, there's not a single thing in that sketch that's funny. But they all are doing these weird voices, and they're all laughing the entire way through, and it makes it so funny.
Is Jimmy Fallon involved?
No, he isn't.
Okay,
it's Bill Hader.
Just dying laughing.
Yeah, it's Bill Hader, Fred Armisen, and Kristen Wiig, the Californian.
So, the worst era of SNL ever.
But you see, that's my favorite era, is because that's what I grew up with. Yeah, it's what I grew up with.
Well, I didn't really watch it until high school.
Yeah.
I started watching it when the Trump and Clinton thing was going.
Like 6th grade through freshman year is my sweet spot of when I watched SNL live.
Okay, then hopefully you have my favorite, maybe my favorite sketch. It's up there.
It's probably an honorable mention, honestly. I have a lot of honorable mentions.
Okay, good number 4.
My number 4 is Lazy Sunday. Lazy Sunday is such a classic. It's kind of what made SNL famous in the modern era, because it was the first SNL skit to go viral on YouTube. It launched Andy Samberg's career completely. It's a hilarious song. Chris Parnell is great on it. It's still the original SNL viral hit. My number 3 is a Kyle Mooney sketch. Inside SoCal is Art Gangster. This sketch is hilarious for no reason at all. It is not funny, but Inside SoCal is Art Gangster is one of the best sketches ever because there is so much beauty in the anti-comedy in it.
The anti-comedy is going to be great, by the way, in Jim Carrey as Joe Biden, because that doesn't make any sense.
It makes no sense at all. That's a terrible fit. But somehow it kind of also works. So I don't know. I'll be interested to watch it. My number 2 is The Shooting, a.k.a. Dear Sister. Now, you may know this one as the one where Bill Hader, Andy Samberg, and Shia LaBeouf all keep on shooting themselves while What You Say plays in the background. It is a nonsense sketch. Go watch it. I guarantee you'll laugh very hard. There's very little to say about it. It is one of the dumbest, most low-budget sketches ever made. It looks like a home movie that someone made, and it's so funny.
All right, number 1, the big reveal.
My number 1 greatest SNL sketch of all time is the most nonsense sketch of all time. I am fairly certain this sketch was completely improvised. There's been rumors that all the cast members in this sketch were sick while shooting it, and that's why it's so bad. But it is Dr. Beeman's office, test results. This is it.
This one.
I have. But go watch it again and tell me you don't laugh at it. The whole sketch is basically Will Ferrell is a bad doctor. Let's go with it. And that is the only thing. I don't even think there was a script to it. It was just, hey, Will, go play a bad doctor, and we'll see what happens. The whole sketch, at one point, he just picks up the phone. He's like, Beverly, oh, Palomino, beautiful golden fur Palominos have. Whoa, whatever. And then he puts the phone down. He's like, oh, I was just selling some magazines. It's the dumbest sketch of all time. But it is so funny because it's complete nonsense. At one point, a doctor walks in Well, because Will Ferrell's like, oh, the only one who can save your son is Dr. Poop. And the guy walks in, he's like, my name is Dr. Stephen Poop. There's nothing I can do for your son, but I can do the robot. And he just does the robot. And then he goes, that'll be $5,000. Thank you. And he walks out. It's the worst sketch ever. And for some reason, it is also the funniest sketch ever. Dr. Beeman's office, test results.
Okay.
That is the sketch.
These two don't really follow your I guess criteria. But I will say that the taco / pizza / whatever commercial with Andy Samberg is phenomenal.
Anything with Andy Samberg is great.
And then this is an older sketch, but Bill Clinton going to McDonald's is amazing.
Yeah. One really, really, really deep cut that I love is the sloppy swish.
I don't know it.
I don't get this sketch at all. I was watching it one night in like a haze, I think. I was just like, what is going on? I was in New York that night when it was airing live. I was watching it. I was like, what in the world is happening? And then because it's like about this like weird mythical creature that lives in Central Park and does this weird dance. And that's the whole sketch. But the next day I was walking around in Central Park and I was like, that was in that SNL sketch last night. Like that location was. And so for some reason that sketch is always just stuck in my mind.
My favorite all-time sketch is Guy Who Just Bought a Boat.
Most of my favorite sketches
that
are
one honestly meets your criteria. It's just it is so dumb. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Okay, it's just so dumb. It's just like the same joke over and over and over again, but every time you're just like, this is phenomenal.
Almost every one of my honorable mentions are all digital short Lonely Island videos, by the way. Lonely Island, that was why I watched SNL as a kid. So love Lonely Island, love digital shorts. So that's basically my honorable mention list.
All right, we have one more quick little segment, and this is only because you're a Cardinals fan. Otherwise, I wouldn't probably talk about this. But Albert Pujols, former Cardinal, and now a member of the Angels. He's had a decent player career with the Angels, and a great career with the Cardinals. But he is now alone on the 5th spot in all-time home run with this unexciting home run right here.
That's drilled out to left field. This one's got a chance to get out of here, and it does. Big fly for Albert Pujols.
Yeah,
Here's my thing. I think Albert Pujols is the greatest example of why you should stay with your own team. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't go get your money, because if you're a player and you can go get your money, you should. But if Pujols with the Cardinals had gotten to the 5th spot all time by himself, this would be the biggest sports news of the day.
Yeah.
And instead it's not. And it's just a sad reality of the situation.
Yeah. I just still like when he connects on a ball, it's such a beautiful swing.
He's probably, undebatably a top 3 hitter of all time.
Yeah.
His
last
he is.
10 years. The thing about it is that like there have been so many great hitters that have been great.
But you can pinpoint his career going down as soon as he left the Cardinals, though.
Yeah. I mean,
that's the thing.
Last year with St. Louis, he wasn't great, except for the 2 home run game in the World Series.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He was still the best player on a team that won the World Series. I mean, that's nothing to shake your head at.
Yeah,
but
he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. It's
obviously
gonna have a interesting, inspiring speech, I bet. So I'm excited.
And I really hope he goes in with the Cardinals, because the Cardinals have a rule that numbers don't get retired unless you go into the Hall of Fame as a Cardinal.
I think
that's the only way numbers get retired for the Cardinals. So if he doesn't go in as a Cardinal, number 5 will not be retired.
All right, so I'm just gonna read the polls from today to make things quick.
Do it.
Is popcorn a good breakfast food? 71. Yes. Is Apple Jacks Alfredo good? 1 vote, 100% no. Is cauliflower sad broccoli or healthy potatoes? 100% sad broccoli. Sorry, Max.
I just want to give a little bit of shout out. The Spear podcast, the Spearcast.
Wow.
I was on it. The episode just got released today. We had World Golf Hall of Famer, all-time LPGA great, 7-time major winner, 3-time Solheim Cup captain, Julie Inkster on the show.
Wow.
It was legitimately the highlight of my journalistic career. It was so much fun. We got on a Zoom call with her. She was so great. She was in such a great mood. She was in high spirits. She gave us great answers. I've gone back and listened to it. It's a great podcast to go listen to.
Where do we check that out at?
The Spearcast. I just retweeted it at CavsMax13.
Okay.
It's on there. It's on SoundCloud at the Spearcast or at the Spear on Twitter.
Nice. Okay, cool. I will probably check that out. All right, that'll do it for this edition of the Why So Serious show. Good night, Canada. I'm actually going to do the wave.